Hi, I'm Gerald Wessels. I'm the team leader with the Wessels Realty team. And I want to talk to you about something that's very important today. When you get ready to buy a piece of property, the real estate agent is probably going to talk to you about being officially their buyer's agent. Now, a lot of times we get caught up with forms and contracts, but if I was buying a piece of property, the main thing that I would be looking for would be information and protection from my real estate agent. You know, we live in a caveat emptor state, which simply means let the buyer beware. A more formal definition is the principle that the buyer alone is responsible for checking the quality and suitability of goods before a purchase is made. I'm going to talk to you today about how important it is to have a buyer's agent and the kind of protection they're going to afford you right after this. So welcome back. We're going to be talking about 12 different ways that a real estate agent should be able to protect you when you're getting ready to buy a piece of property. Now this is long enough, we're going to divide it into two parts, and every one of these points are very, very important. Well, and be sure to stick with me, because number 5 is one that you don't want to miss. Well, number 1, I produce a comparative market analysis for every property I either buy or sell. Now you might say, well, what's a comparative market analysis? Well, there's all kinds of different computer programs that go in and analyze what the property is really worth, and there's always something that's somewhat of a subjective nature there. But a lot of times a buyer might be really excited about the price, maybe they're a little bit questionable. I want to run that analysis, and sometimes it doesn't play a big part. However, I keep a copy of that file, of that product, forever, because I want to be able to fall back on it should ever a problem arise in the future. So a good real estate agent is going to produce some kind of document telling you really, what is a fair price for that particular piece of property. Number 2, when I go looking at these houses with you and we're showing homes, I'm going to be looking at the building. Now, there's going to be a number of times that I'm going to say, hey, this is not what I do for a living. I'm not officially designated to do this, and this is a good example. I am not a building inspector, and typically your real estate agent isn't going to be a professional in that area. However, I see enough houses, I know the kind of inspections that we're going to need to do should you decide to make an offer on that property. And it's very important, and experience counts a lot in this area. Well, number 3, one of the major protections that a good buyer's agent is going to afford you is they're going to know the area. I went to a class here recently, both on radon and mold, and to my surprise, I found out how many counties around Atlanta have radon. Why? I thought once I left Colorado I wouldn't be dealing with radon anymore, but there is actually percentages of houses, county by county, that actually are affected by radon. And so a good real estate agent is going to know something of the basics of mold. They're going to know the basics of radon. They're going to know the basics of different things that affect areas around the area where you're deciding to make a purchase. A good real estate agent, number 4, is going to have a cadre of building referrals. So when you get ready to fix that house up afterwards, or if you need somebody to come in with a professional opinion to tell you maybe what it's going to cost to fix a particular problem with the house, you need to have people that you can rely on. And a good real estate agent will have worked in that area enough to know people that can truly be relied upon to give you great estimates on what's that roof going to cost to be replaced, what's the price of a good handyman, what it's going to cost to get those rooms painted. All those kinds of things are extremely important. Now, I told you that number 5 is going to be extra important. Well, number 5 is I like to say that I go through the entire process with you. I'll be helping you look at houses from the very beginning. I'm going to be there as you go through your due diligence period, through your inspections, through the mortgage process, and then finally, when it comes to that great day of closing, I'm going to be sitting there in the closing office with you, making sure that everything runs smoothly from the very beginning of the process to the very end of the process. And then what is number 6? Oh, some of you are going to say, well, Gerald, you're getting close to that thing that you're really not qualified to do. Well, I pull a deed. Now, as I just mentioned, I am not an attorney. I don't claim to be, and I don't really do much legal stuff when I take a look at the deed. However, I do pull the deed because I want to know, by that and the tax records, who actually owns the house. Is it in a trust? Is it owned by the individual? Is it owned by 2 people? Just the basics in getting the whole process started. Well, I want to remind you, I've just shared with you very quickly 6 things that you ought to know. 6 ways that you should be protected when you're getting ready to look at property and possibly purchase some property. Well, I want to remind you that the second group that I'm going to share with you in part number 2 is actually even more important than this. So I want to ask you today, what is important to you? What are the kinds of things that you want to be protected with? What are the kinds of things do you want your real estate agent to protect you with? I would appreciate if you would note those in the comments below, because I want to be able to expand this particular video in the future. I'm Gerald Wessels. I'm the team leader with the Wessels Realty team. I help people buy, sell, invest in commercial and residential real estate. If you have been helped by this particular video, I hope you'll, as they say, smash it and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.